channel. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, turn on y'all post notifications because y'all don't use on everything I do. Today, we're going to be doing a story time on how I found out my grandpa passed. So, I might get emotional. So, yeah, let's just get into it. About 3 years ago, I was told that he had cancer. And mind y'all, he had cancer for 5 years. He survived 5 years. But I was told 3 years ago that he had cancer. And that's when I was told. So, on May 29th of 2019, he passed away. Okay, so somewhere around in May, of course we were still in school. One day, my mom picked me up from school and she was like, he was in the hospital. And so, you know, we weren't thinking too much of it. Me and my brother, we weren't thinking too much of it. Cause you know, like, you know, you don't never want to think, oh, something might happen. We didn't think it was because of cancer either. We didn't know what it was really. And then she told us that the doctors had told my grandma that he might not live. But again, like me, I'm not really a person that cried during the action. I cried afterwards. So when she told me this, I'm just like, that man's not finna die. He finna survive, boo. Like, I always got hope. I don't never think the worst, basically. So I'm like, these doctors got me messed up. The fuck? But that same day, we went up to the hospital and he was in the bed, you know. We weren't really like, it wasn't him, basically. He was laying there in the hospital bed. He couldn't really talk like that. He really couldn't do nothing. He couldn't eat. The doctor said he couldn't, basically. The only thing he could do was pee. He can't, you know, do number 2. So, you know, with you not being able to do number 2, you getting stopped up. It wouldn't seem right. So, he was just, you know, he wasn't looking right. But according to me, I'm like, that man's not finna die. Like, he's not finna die. It had to be in like May the 20th, cause he went in there that long. So it had to be like May 20th or something like that. So that's when we just, you know, the family kept going to the hospital and stuff like that, trying to make sure he was okay. And my brother was graduating May 25th, I think, and it's right, May 25th. And my grandpa, he was the type of person that always motivated us. If nobody else did, it was him. He motivated us to go to college and stuff like that and graduate. So mind you, he was in the hospital, he couldn't do nothing, so we were like, we gotta try to graduation. You know what I'm saying? We were thinking that everything. We were like, okay, put him in a wheelchair, we're gonna do something. Cause he finna see this man graduate. So the day came, he couldn't make it because he was still in the hospital. So we went up to the hospital after the graduation. He seen him with his cap and gown on and stuff. And like, it was just, you know, it was so good to see him proud of my brother. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just glad that he get to see my brother, you know, walk across that stage. I wish he could see me too, but it doesn't matter about me right now. So, once he seen him, my brother told us that he told him, remember what I told you, remember what I told you. And still to this day, we don't even know what he told my brother, but I think it got something to do with, you know, graduating and going to college or doing something with his life, basically. So like a few days passed. I went to my papa house, which is my dad's dad. And so I was just over there, and then I was like, I texted my mom. I was like, Mom, I'm just ready to go home. And it had to be May 28th. So it was the day before he died. I was like, Mom, I just want to go home because I'm not feeling good. Like, I'm just too worried about my granddad at that point. At that point, it's like I knew something was finna happen. So I was like, I was just ready to go home. I was like, and then I was like, when we got in the car, I was like, Mom, can we go to the hospital to see him? And she was like, no, because my mom is a really emotional person. So she was very, very sad. She didn't want to go up there and see her daddy like that, basically. Like, she did not want to do that. So I don't blame it on my mama for not taking me up there, because I know she don't like stuff like that. She don't even like looking at stuff on TV like that. So I understood where she was coming from. So the next day, just the day he died, my mom woke me up and she was like, she came in there crying. She was like, your granddaddy passed. And I'm like, okay. You know, I really couldn't do nothing because, mind y'all, at the time, I don't cry when the moment, you know, but that don't matter. So she told me, I'm like, okay, you know how you can't believe something, but, you know, they're gone, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you're gonna have to believe it either way. But it's like, I couldn't believe it because I never had a death in my family that was like really my family. So when she told me, I'm like, okay. She like, get dressed and go to the hospital. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna go to the hospital. I was scared. My heart beat so fast. I'm like, okay. I know they say he dead, but that man is not dead. Like, I knew this. Like, it's like I knew for a fact he went dead. You know what I'm saying? Still didn't want to believe it. We got there. Then we walk into the room. Then we walk in the room. And I just see him in the bed. You know, they got his face covered and they got the bed all the way lit down. Like, you know how hospital bed have a little elevated. It wasn't, it was just flat. So I'm like, okay. He's, you know, I know that he's gone, but it's just like, damn, like 5 years, y'all. This man competed with cancer for 5 years. And didn't nobody even know, really, because he wasn't the type of person to just sit there like, oh, I'm sick, I'm not finna do this. Like, he was, you know, he did stuff. Like, he got around. He'd be in that white truck just riding, and don't nobody even know, like, you know, can't nobody tell something wrong with him. So yeah, they had him laid down, cover over his head. So I'm just, you know, like looking like the whole time, y'all, I swear, like it was family in there and everything. I'm not trying to comfort nobody, because just like at that point, it's like I'm in a dark space at this point. So I couldn't do nothing but just look at his body. Mind you, I can't see his body because the cover is over him, but the figure of his body, I was just staring at it. And everybody just kept coming up to me and asking me, was I okay? And I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm sorry, y'all. This joint is so hard to do. But I didn't know what to do. Then that's when the doctors came in the room, and it was like, the funeral home people was here, and y'all know, they gotta take the body and stuff like that. So that's when that junk hit me, because they took the cover off his head. And when they took the cover off his head, his mouth was like wide open, and like, don't nobody want to see their family member or anyone just dead, you know what I'm saying? But the position, mouth open and stuff like that hit way different. So when I seen him, like, but it just how, you know what I'm saying, just how it just came about. And it's really how he passed away. Cancer. He was a fighter now. He was a fighter, and I give it to him, but he was just tired of fighting. He couldn't fight no more. And I gotta accept that, you know what I'm saying? You can't sit there and stick with this for life and just blame it on anything else, or blame it on anything, because everyone got to go one day. And I'm just happy that he's not hurting anymore. I'm real happy he's not even hurting no more, because mind y'all, he couldn't do anything. He couldn't use the bathroom. So just imagine being stopped up. You hurting. So I just don't know. And I will insert clips on stuff, but I won't disrespect him like that. So I'm not gonna show like when he was actually in the bed and stuff. I'm gonna show pictures, like old pictures of him and stuff like that. Yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and turn on y'all post notifications.
Now that you're gone, every day I go on, but life's just not the same.